Yo, chat. Yo, my nigga Bo. What going on, twin? Yo, my nigga Dre. What you been on, twin? What you been on, my nigga? That boy good. Shit. Shit is literally getting ready to leave. Where you finna go? Oh, you to my school? To my college? Boy, that shit ain't gonna lie. Shit gonna be hella fun, twin. That shit gonna be hella fun. Just make sure you balance that shit. And balance your goddamn your school, work and shit, and your fun. Ain't gonna lie. The school shit really easier than you think, cause you get to make your own schedule. I think. Goddamn, what school you going to? You can balance that shit though for sure. Appreciate that gift, twin. Appreciate that gift, twin. Start that bit all right, no cap. Y'all say hey to Kylie. Say hey, Kylie. Don't you grab nothing over there. Appreciate that gift, twin. On God, you're a real one. East Georgia. Oh yeah. Go enjoy that shit, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Go enjoy that shit. Just make sure you handling your schoolwork too. Go enjoy that shit, man. It's probably a couple people you know going to East Georgia. Go enjoy that shit, man. You gonna meet a ass new people. You gonna meet a ass new friends and shit. That shit gonna be lit. So on God. Go enjoy that shit, boy. If I had the money to pay out of pocket for school, I'd be going to school and streaming at the same time. On God. No cap. I'd be going to school and streaming at the same time. But I'm definitely going back though. I ain't gonna lie. I'm definitely gonna finish. Eventually. You feel me? I just been called to do some other shit first. Finna, what time is it? 3 o'clock, 3:01. I'm finna go ahead and start reading the Bible. I'm on chapter 40. Got 10 more chapters left. I definitely gotta get back streaming head, yeah, twin. Oh, God. Stream while you at school. Oh, God. Got take your game and shit. Stream while you there. Download Twitch on your phone and can stream off your phone. Oh, God. Stream off your phone. Whenever the vibe's good, gang, stream off your phone. Oh, God, that's what I be doing. Whenever you go to like a little party or something, a little get together, stream off your phone, twin. That shit gonna be dumb lit, I'm telling you. I wish I would have started streaming when I was a freshman in college, I ain't gonna lie. I wish I would have started, boy. That shit would have been crazy lit, I ain't gonna lie. I was at so many parties and shit. I would have been streaming that shit, bro. That shit would have been, man, that shit would have been up. I'm telling you. That shit would have been up. When I go to homecoming this year, though, got at South Carolina State, streaming that bit too. Any little fun activity I go to, I'm streaming. Got to. Yo, Lil Magic, what's up, twin? It's definitely lit, twin. Definitely lit. But yeah, gang, I'm finna start reading the Bible. I got 1, 2, 3. I got 1, 2. Yeah, I got 3 chapters to read. 40, 41, and 42. Ain't gonna lie, chapter 39, but that shit ain't gonna lie. That I think that was my favorite chapter so far. I ain't gonna lie. I think that was my favorite chapter so far. So I'm finna go ahead and get into this shit, man. Yeah, tooth hurt, but it's alright. We gonna keep going. We gonna keep going. Chapter 40. Sometime after this, the cupbearer of the king of Egypt and his baker committed an offense against the Lord, the king of Egypt. And Pharaoh was angry with his 2 officers, the chief cupbearer and the chief baker, and he put them in custody in the house of the captain of the guard, in prison where Joseph was confined. If y'all see my post on Facebook, Joseph's still in prison, but he in charge of all the prisoners still. The captain of the guard appointed Joseph to be with them, and he attended them. They continued for some time in custody, and one night they both dreamed, the cupbearer and the baker of the king of Egypt, who were confined in prison, each his own dream, and each dream with his own interpretation. When Joseph came to them in the morning, he saw that they were in trouble. So he asked Pharaoh's officer who were with him in custody in his master's house, "Why are your faces downcast? Why are your faces downcast today? They said to him, You have had dreams, and there is no one to interpret them. And Joseph said to them, Do not do not interpretations belong to God? He asked that a question. Please tell them to me. So the chief cupbearer told his dream to Joseph and said to him, In my dream there was a vine before me, and on the vine there were 3 branches. As soon as it budded, its blossoms shot forth, and the clusters ripened into grapes. Pharaoh's cup was in my hand, and I took the grapes and pressed them in Pharaoh's cup, and placed the cup in Pharaoh's hand. And Joseph said to him, This is its interpretation. The 3 branches are 3 days. In 3 days Pharaoh will lift up your head and restore you to your offense, and you shall place Pharaoh's cup in his hand formerly, when you were his cupbearer. Only remember me when it is time, when it is well with you, and please do me the kindness to mention me to Pharaoh, so he so so get me out of this house. For I was intended stolen out of the land of the Hebrews, and here also I have done nothing that they should put me into the pit. When the chief baker saw that interpretation was favorable, he said to Joseph, I also had a dream. There were 3 cake baskets on my head, and in the uppermost basket there were all sorts of baked food for Pharaoh, but the birds were eating it out of the basket on my head. And Joseph answered and said, This is its interpretation. The 3 baskets are 3 days. In 3 days Pharaoh will lift up your head from you and hang you on a tree, and the birds will eat the flesh from you. On the third day, which was now before I keep going, the cake baker and the cupbearer of Pharaoh, their dreams were 2 different type of dreams. 2 different type of dreams. On the third day, which was Pharaoh's birthday, he made a feast for all his servants and lifted up the head of the chief cupbearer and the head of the chief baker among his servants. He restored the chief cupbearer to his position and he placed the cup in Pharaoh's hand. But he hanged the chief baker as Joseph had interpreted it to them. Yet the chief cupbearer did not remember Joseph, but forget him. That was chapter 40. So like I said, in chapter 39, Joseph got put in prison for something he ain't do. And Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, his 2 servants, the cupbearer and the cake baker, they got put in prison for doing a crime against the Lord. So they got put in the same prison as Joseph was in. So when Joseph seen them, he seen that their head was down and shit. They was sad or whatever, and they told Joseph about their dream. The cupbearer gonna get his position back as the cupbearer, but the cake baker gonna get hanged. Cake baker gonna get hanged in 3 days. And Joseph told the cupbearer to remember him and tell Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, about Joseph so he can get out. But the cupbearer forgot and all type of junk. That was chapter 40. It's chapter 41. After 2 years, Pharaoh dreamed After 2 whole years, Pharaoh dreamed that he was standing by the Nile, and behold, there came up out of the Nile 7 crows, attractive and plump, and they fed in the reed grass. And behold, 7 other crows, ugly and thin, came up out of the Nile after them, and stood by the other crows on the bank of the Nile. And the ugly thin crows ate up the 7 attractive plump crows, and Pharaoh awoke. And he fell asleep and dreamed a second time, and behold, 7 ears of grain, plump and good, were growing in one stalk. And behold, after them sprouted 7 ears, thin and blighted by the east wind. And the thin ears swallowed up the 7 plump full ears, and Pharaoh awoke, and behold, it was a dream. So in the morning his spirit was troubled, and he sent and called for all magicians of Egypt and all its wise men. Pharaoh told them his dreams, but there was no one who could interpret them to Pharaoh. Guess who can though? Joseph. Joseph. Then the chief cupbearer said to Pharaoh, I remember my offenses today, when Pharaoh was angry with his servants and put me and the chief in custody in the house of the captain of the guard. We dreamed on the same night, and he and I, each having a dream with its own interpretation. A young Hebrew was there with us, a servant of the captain of the guard. When we told him, he interpreted our dream to us, giving an interpretation to each man according to his dream. And as he interpreted it to us, so it came about. I was restored to my office, and the baker was hanged. Then Pharaoh sent and called Joseph, and they quickly brought him out of the pit. And when he had shaved himself and changed his clothes, he came in before Pharaoh. And Pharaoh said to Joseph, I have had a dream, and there is no one who can interpret it. I have heard it said of you that when you hear a dream, you can interpret it. Joseph answered Pharaoh, it is not in me. God will give Pharaoh a favorable answer. And the Pharaoh said to Joseph, Yo, Lee, what's up, my nigga? What's up, twin? What was that? And Pharaoh said to Joseph, oh wait, no. Joseph answered Pharaoh, it is not in me. God will give Pharaoh a favorable answer. Then Pharaoh said to Joseph, behold, in my dream I was standing on the banks of the Nile. Yo, truly be fresh. What's up, twin? You want bed yet, my nigga? Blessings, twin. No cap. You want bed yet, my nigga? Blessings for sure, though, twin. No cap. Blessings for sure. No cap. Then Pharaoh said to Joseph, behold, in my dream I was standing on the banks of the Nile. 7 crows, plump and attractive, came out of the Nile and fed it. Truly free? Okay, cool. Came out of the Nile and fed in the reed grass. 7 other crows came up after them, short and very ugly and thin, such as I had never seen them in all the land of Egypt. And the thin, ugly crows ate up the first 7 plump crows. But when they had eaten them, no one would have known that they had eaten them, for they were still as ugly as at the beginning. Then I awoke. Joseph that guy for real. I'm telling you, twin. Joseph that guy. Joseph that guy. Then I awoke. I also saw in my dream 7 ears growing in one stalk, full and good. 7 ears, 7 ears withered, thin, and blighted by the east wind sprouted after them. And the thin ears swallowed up the 7 good ears, and I told it to the magicians, but there was no one who could explain it to me. Then Joseph said to Pharaoh, the dreams of Pharaoh are one. God has revealed to Pharaoh what he is about to do. The 7 good clothes are 7 years, and the 7 good ears are 7 years. The dreams are one. The 7 lean and ugly clothes that came up after them after 7 years, and the 7 empty ears blighted by the wind, by the east wind, are also 7 years of famine. 7 years of famine. It is as I told Pharaoh. God has shown to Pharaoh what he is about to do. There will come 7 years of great plenty throughout all the land of Egypt. But after them, there will arise 7 years of famine, and all the plenty will be forgotten in the land of Egypt. The famine will consume the land, and the plenty will be unknown in the land by reason of the famine that will follow, for it will be very severe. And the doubting of Pharaoh's dream means that the thing, and the doubling of Pharaoh's dream means that the thing is fixed by God, and God will shortly bring it about. Now therefore, let Pharaoh select a discerning and wise man and set him over the land of Egypt. Watch who he set over the land of Egypt. Watch who he set over the land of Egypt. Watch. Just watch. Let Pharaoh proceed to appoint overseers. Let Pharaoh proceed to appoint overseers over the land and take 1/5 of the produce of the land of Egypt during the 7 years, and let them gather all the food of these good years that are coming, and store up grain under the authority of Pharaoh for food in the city, and let them keep it. That food shall be a reserve for the land against the 7 years of famine that are to occur in the land of Egypt, so that the land may not perish through the famine. This proposal pleased Pharaoh and all his servants. And Pharaoh said to his servants, can we find a man like this in whom is the Spirit of God? Then Pharaoh said to Joseph, since God has shown you all of this, there is no so discerning and wise as you are. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, he finna appoint Joseph. He finna appoint Joseph, I'm telling you. You shall be over my house, and all my people shall order themselves as you command. Come on, man. Come on, man. Only as regards the throne will I be greater than you. And Pharaoh said to Joseph, see, I have set you over all the land of Egypt. Then Pharaoh took his signet ring from his hand and put it on Joseph's hand, and clothed him in garments of fine linen, and put a gold chain about his neck. And he made him ride in his second chariot. And they called out before him, bow the knee. Thus he set him over all the land of Egypt. Moreover, Pharaoh said to Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without your consent, no one shall lift up hand or foot in all the land of Egypt. And Pharaoh called Joseph's name. I can't say that name. I gotta search that up. Y'all can see too, my fault. Zaphen. There you go. Joseph, that guy. That nigga so blessed by I ain't gonna say that nigga, but he's so blessed by the Lord. He's so blessed.
You say it? Zaphanath. Consider subscribing for more.
This
is the name given by Pharaoh. We are looking at how to pronounce this name, as well as how to say more interesting and often mispronounced names and words from the Bible. So make sure to stay tuned and consider subscribing for more learning. This is the name given by Pharaoh to Joseph in the Genesis. How do you say it? Zaphanath, Paneah, Zaphanath, Paneah.
Zaphanath, Paneah, Zaphanath, Paneah.
To Joseph in the Genesis.
Yo, my nigga, though.
How do you say it? Zaphanath, Paneah, Zaphanath, Paneah. British.
Zaphiath and Paneah. Zaphiath, Paneah. Alright, bet. And Pharaoh called Joseph's name Zaphanath Paneah, and he gave him in marriage Asenath, the daughter of Potipharah, priest of On. So Joseph went out over the land of Egypt. I'm telling y'all, boy, Joseph, that guy. That nigga just got. I need to stop saying that nigga. But Joseph just got released from prison and appointed to second of all over the land of Egypt. I missed the last reading. I'm behind 20. I ain't gonna lie. Chapter 39, 40, and 41. But I ain't gonna lie. These my favorite ones so far. These my favorite ones so far. Alright, look, I'm gonna try and break it down to you real fast. There was a man named Judah. He had a son named Joseph. And he had other sons. I ain't gonna say their names right now. But he had a son named Joseph. And he liked Joseph more than all his other sons. That he was favored by God. All his other sons got jealous of Joseph and they sold him to a master in another land. But they told the father, Judah, that he got killed by a goddamn animal. So when Joseph got sold to the other master in the other land, mind you, Joseph good looking and attractive in appearance. So when he was living with the master in the other land after he got sold, the master's wife was trying to sleep and lay with Joseph because he was so attractive in appearance and form. So Joseph kept turning the wife down because he said it wasn't righteous and it was a sin against God. So he kept turning the wife down, like, no, I'm not laying with you, shawty. Like, no, I'm not laying with you. And he did it so much that the wife got angry.
You just plan on going to no?
The wife got angry. And when she got angry, she lied. She lied to everybody, even the master, and said Joseph was the one trying to lay with her. So when the master heard that, he like, oh nah, I'm finna put Joseph in prison. But Joseph's so favored by God, when he got put in prison, the warden seen that he was so favored by God that he put him over all the prisoners in the prison. So that was chapter 39. Chapter 40 I just read before chapter 41. Chapter 40, the king of Egypt got two servants, a cupbearer and the cake baker. They got put in the same prison as Joseph, and they was having dreams in prison, and they didn't know what they mean. So, but Joseph, he could tell them what it meant. So he told them what it meant. He told them what the dream was gonna happen. And Didi, and he told them what was gonna happen, and it became true. So when they got out, the cupbearer got his job back, and the cake baker got hanged, and it became true. That's what Joseph told them was gonna happen from their dream. So when that happened, Joseph told the cupbearer to remember Joseph when he got out of prison. And when he got out, 7 years later, the king of Egypt, Pharaoh, he was having dreams. Like, he started having dreams too, and he didn't know what they meant. So he was like, bro, I'm bringing all the magicians and all the wise men in Egypt, because he the king of Egypt. He bringing all the wise men and the king and the magicians of Egypt to tell him what his dreams meant, but he didn't know what they meant. Nobody knew what they meant. So goddamn, the cupbearer had remembered Joseph, and he was like, hold on. When I was in prison, and goddamn, I was having dreams, I didn't know what they meant. There was a goddamn Hebrew named Joseph. He could tell me what they meant. So the king of Egypt was like, go get him now. Go get him now. We need him now. So they got Joseph out of prison, and Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, asked Joseph like what his dreams meant and what like got him dream whatever. He told him to Joseph, and he asked Joseph to tell him what they meant. And once he told Joseph what they meant, Joseph was like, no. Pharaoh was like, there is no other man in Egypt that's like discerning and wise as you, because you're the only person that could tell me what they meant. So when my dreams come true, I'm gonna appoint you second under me. Like, you above everybody in Egypt. You above everybody in Egypt. The only one more powerful than you is me, the king of Egypt. So now in chapter 41, the dreams that Pharaoh was having and that Joseph explained to Pharaoh, when that was finna come true, we finna see what happened. We finna see what happened. Where was I at? Matter of fact, I'm gonna go back a little bit. Then Pharaoh said to Joseph, since God has shown you all this, since God has shown you all this, there is no so discerning and wise as you are. You shall be over my house, and all my people shall order themselves as you command. As only as regards the throne will I be greater than you. So Pharaoh said to Joseph, So Pharaoh said to Joseph, see, I have set you over all the land of Egypt. All right, bro. Then Pharaoh took his signet ring from his hand and put it on Joseph's hand, and clothed him in garments of fine linen, and put a gold chain around his neck. And he made him ride in the second chariot. And they called him out before bowed the knee, that he set him over all the land of Egypt. Moreover, Pharaoh said to Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without your consent, no one shall lift up hand or foot in all land of Egypt. And Pharaoh called Joseph's name this right here.
Forward once
Oh, no, I can't hear. It's Joseph's new name that the king of Egypt gave him.
is the name given by Pharaoh to Joseph in the Genesis. How do you say it? Zaphanath Paneah.
Zaphanath Paneah. That's his new name that he got from Pharaoh. Zaphanath Paneah, and he gave him a wife named Asenath, and the daughter of Potiphar, priest of On. So Joseph went out over the land of Egypt. Joseph was 30 years old. Joseph was 30 years old when he entered the service of Pharaoh, the king of Egypt. And Joseph went out from the presence of Pharaoh and went through all the land of Egypt. During the 7 plentiful years of earth produced abundantly, and he gathered up all the food of these 7 years which occurred in the land of Egypt, and put the food in the cities. He put in every city the food from the fields around it. And Joseph stored up grain in the great abundance, like the sand of the sea, until he ceased to measure it, for it could not be measured. So he got all the good food that was growing the first 7 years, until he couldn't even tell how much it was no more. And before the year of famine came, 2 sons were born to Joseph. Asenath, the daughter of Potiphar, priest of On, bore them to him. So Joseph had 2 sons. Joseph called the name of the firstborn Messiah. No, not Messiah. Manasseh. For he said, God has made me forget all my hardship and all my father's house. The name of the second he called Ephraim. That's the name of the second son, Ephraim. For God has made me fruitful in the land of my affliction. The 7 years of plenty that occurred in the land of Egypt came to an end, and the 7 years of famine began to come, as Joseph had said. There was famine in all the lands, but in all the land of Egypt there was bread. When all the land of Egypt was famished, the people cried to Pharaoh for bread, and Pharaoh said to all the Egyptians, "Go to Joseph. What he says to you, do so. No, what he says to you, do." So when the famine had spread it over all the land, Joseph opened the storehouses and sold to the Egyptians, for the famine was severe in the land of Egypt. Moreover, all the earth came to Egypt to Joseph to buy grain, because the famine was severe over all the earth. See how that work, bro? Oh my God. Ain't even done reading, but bro, that's crazy, fool. That's crazy. I ain't gonna lie, that's crazy. That's crazy. That was chapter 41. This chapter 42, the last chapter I'm gonna read for this stream. Chapter 42. When Jacob learned that there was grain. Oh shit. Appreciate that follow, man. Welcome to the game, bro. Welcome to PCJG. Welcome to PCJG, man. Hey man, how are my headphones? Oh nah, that's a bite. It's a bite. Never mind.
Zaphanath.
Getting banned. You're a bite.
Pania. Pretty straightforward once you know.
I'm banning you because you're a bite.
Zaphanath. Pania. And now you know. Here are more videos on how to pronounce more interesting names, biblical names and words whose pronunciation.
Now I ain't know that video was still playing. Damn. This nigga's a bot though. He getting banned. Up. Back to 409. Chapter 42. When Jacob learned that there was grain for sale in Egypt, he said to his sons, "Why do you look at one another? Why do you look at one another?" And he said, "Behold, I have heard that there is grain for sale in Egypt. So go and buy grain for us there, that we may live and not die." So 10 of Joseph's brothers, oh my God, fool. This nigga finna meet his brothers that sold him. In chapter 38, this nigga finna, Joseph finna meet his brothers because he don't want selling the grain. And Jacob, I think I think Jacob they pops. I think Jacob they pop. But I thought it was Judah. I don't know. We're gonna figure it out. Go down and buy grain for us there, that we may live and not die. So 10 of Joseph's brothers went down to buy grain in Egypt. But Jacob did not send Benjamin, Joseph's brother, with his brothers, for he feared that harm might happen to him. Thus the sons of Israel came to buy among the others who came, for the famine was in the land of Canaan. So now Joseph was governor over the land. He was the one who sold to all the people of the land. And Joseph's brothers came and bowed themselves before him with their faces to the ground. Joseph saw his brothers and recognized them, but he treated them like strangers and spoke roughly to them. "Where do you come from?" he said. They said, "From the land of Canaan to buy food." And Joseph recognized his brothers, but they did not recognize him.
Yeah.
All right, say it my turn. Joseph saw his brothers and recognized them, but treated them roughly like strangers and spoke roughly to them. "Where do you come from?" he said. They said, from the land of Canaan to buy food." And Joseph recognized his brothers, but they did not recognize him. And Joseph remembered the dreams. Joseph remembered the dream that he had dreamed of them. And he said to them, "You are spies, and you have come to see the nakedness of the land." They said to him, "No, my lord. Your servants have come to buy food. We are all sons of one man. We are honest men. Your servants have never been spies." He said to them, "No, it is the nakedness of the land that you have come to see." And they said, "We, your servants, are 12 brothers, the sons of one man in the land of Canaan. And behold, the youngest is this day with our father, and no one is more." But Joseph said to them, "It is as I said to you, you are spies. By this you shall be tested, by the life of Pharaoh. You shall not go from this place unless your youngest brother comes here. Send one of you and let him bring your younger brother while you remain confined, that your words may be tested whether there is truth in you, or else by the life of Pharaoh, surely you are spies." And he put them together in custody for 3 days. On the third day, Joseph said to them, "Do this, and you will live for I fear God. If you are honest man, Canaan sound like Canaan? Okay, Canaan. On the third day, Joseph said to them, do this and you will live, for I fear God. If you are honest men, let one of your brothers remain confined where you are in custody, and let the rest go and carry grain for the famine of your household. And bring your youngest brother to me, so your words will be verified and you shall not die. And they did so. Then they said to one another, in truth we are guilty concerning our brother, in that we saw the distress of his soul when he begged us, and we did not listen. That is why this distress has come upon us. And Reuben answered them, did I not tell you not to sin against the boy? He told them. Did I not tell you not to sin against the boy? But you did not listen. So now there comes a reckoning for his blood. They did not know that Joseph understood them, for there was an interpreter between them. Then he turned away from them and wept. And he returned to them and spoke to them. Because Joseph is the brother that they talk, like the little brother they talk about. Joseph the one. It might lag now, y'all. Hold on. The stream might lag. Hold on. If it's not, let me know. Let me know if the stream lagging or not. I don't think it's lagging no more. He returned to them and spoke to them. He took Simeon from them and bound him before their eyes. And Joseph gave orders to fill their bags with grain, and to replace every man's money in his sack, and to give them provisions for the journey. This was done for them. Then they loaded their donkeys with their grain and departed. And as one of them opened his sack to give his donkey founder at the lodging place, he saw his money in the mouth of his sack. He said to his brothers, my money has been put back. Here it is in the mouth of my sack. At this their hearts failed them, and they turned trembling to one another, saying, what is this that God has done to us? Y'all did that to yourselves, man. Y'all did that to yourselves, man. I ain't gonna lie. What is this that God has done to us? When they came to Jacob, their father in the land of Canaan, they told him all that had happened to them, saying, the Lord of the land, spoke roughly to us and took us to be spies of the land. But we said to him, we are honest men. We have never been spies. But wait on God's mercy though. Spoke roughly to us and took us as spies, but we said to him, we are honest men. We have never been spies. We are 12 brothers, sons of our father. One is no more. They think the one they talking about is Joseph. They don't even know that it's Joseph though. The man over the king The man over the land of Egypt, they don't even know that's Joseph. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I'm going to keep reading. It's just getting to me. It's just getting to me. One is no more, and the youngest is this day with our father in the land of Canaan. Then the Lord of the land said to us, by this I shall know that you are honest man. Leave one of your brothers with me and take grain for the famine of your households and go on your way. Bring your youngest brother to me, then I shall know that you are not spies but honest men. And I will deliver your brother to you, and you shall trade in the land. As they emptied their sacks, behold, every man's bundle of money was in his sack. And when they and their father saw their bundles of money, they were afraid. And Jacob, their father, said to them, you have bereaved me of my children. Joseph is no more, and Simeon is no more. And now you would take Benjamin. All this has come against me. Then Reuben said to his father, kill my two sons if I do not bring him back to you. Put him in my hands, and I will bring him back to you. But he said, my son shall not go down with you, for his brother is dead, and he is the only one left. If harm should happen to him on the journey that you are to make, you would bring down my gray hairs with sorrow of Sheol. Ain't gonna lie, I was gonna start right there, but I gotta keep going. That was chapter 42. It was this chapter 43. Now the famine was severe in the land, and when they had eaten the grain that they had brought from Egypt, their father said to them, go again, buy us a little food. But Judah said to him, the man solemnly warned us, saying, you shall not see my face unless your brother is with you. If you will send our brother with us, we will go down and buy you food. But if you will not send him, we will not go down, for the man said to us, you shall not see my face unless your brother is with you. Israel said, why did you treat me so badly as to tell the man that you had another brother? They replied, the man questioned us carefully about ourselves and our kindred, saying, is your father still alive? Do you have another brother? What we told him was in answer to these questions. Could we see in any way know that he would say, bring your brother down? And Judah said to Israel, his father, send the boy with me, and we will arise and go, that we may live and not die, both we and you, and also our little ones. I will be a pledge of his safety. From my hand you shall require him. If I do not bring him back to you and set him before you, then let me bear the blame forever. If we had not delayed, we would now have returned twice. Then their father Israel said to them, if it must be so, then do this. Take some of the choice fruits of the land in your bags and carry a present down to the man, a little balm and a little honey, gum, myrrh, pistachio nuts, and almonds. Take double the money with you. Carry back with you the money that was returned in the mouth of your sacks. Perhaps it was an oversight. Take also your brother and arise and go against the man. May God Almighty grant you mercy before the man, and may he send your other brother, and Benjamin. And as for me, if I am bereaved of my children, I am bereaved. So the man took this present and they took double the money with them. And Benjamin, they arose and went down to Egypt and stood before Joseph. They don't even know that it's Joseph. Oh my God, it's getting to me. When Joseph saw Benjamin with them, he said to the steward of his house, Bring the man into the house and slaughter an animal and make ready for the man and make ready, for the men are dined with me at noon. The man did as Joseph told him and brought the men to Joseph's house. And the men were afraid because they thought they were brought to Joseph's house, and they said, It is because of the money which was replaced in our sacks the first time that we are brought in, so that he may assault us and fall upon us to make us servants and seize our donkeys. So they went up to the steward of Joseph's house and spoke with him at the door of the house and said, Oh, my lord, we came down the first time to buy food. And when we came to the lodging place, we opened our sacks, and there was each man's money in the mouth of his sacks. Our money, and there was each man's money in the mouth of his sack. Our money in full weight. So we have brought it again with us, and we have brought other money down with us to buy food. We do not know who put money in our sacks. He replied, Peace to you. Do not be afraid. Your God and the God of your father has put treasure in your sacks for you. I received your money. Then he brought Simon out to them. And when the man had brought Joseph, and when the man, wait, what was I? And when the man had brought the men to Joseph's house and given them water, and they had washed their feet, and when he had given their donkeys founder, they prepared the present for Joseph coming at noon, for they heard that they should eat bread there. When Joseph came home, they brought in the house to him the present that they had with them, and bowed down to him to the ground. And he inquired about their welfare and said, Is your father well, the old man of whom you spoke? Is he still alive? They said, Your servant, our father is well, he is alive. And they bowed their heads and prostrated themselves. And he lifted up his eyes and saw his brother Benjamin, his mother's son, and said, Is this your youngest brother of whom you spoke to me? God be gracious to you, my son, my son. Then Joseph hurried out, for his compassion grew warm for his brother, and he sought a place to weep. And he entered his chamber and wept there. Then he washed his face and came out, and controlling himself, he said, Serve the food. Yes, I see God's mercy, but he he gave them food, and even though they the ones that sold him in like chapter 38, even though they the ones that did it, he's showing them crazy mercy right now. Served the food. They served him by himself, and them by themselves. And the Egyptians who ate with them by themselves, because the Egyptians could not eat with the Hebrews, for that is an abomination to the Egyptians. And they sat before him, the firstborn according to his birthright, and the youngest according to his youth. And the men looked at one another in amazement. Portions were taken to them from Joseph's table, but Benjamin's portion was 5 times as much as any of theirs. And they drank and were merry with him. Ain't gonna lie, I'm finna keep reading. Ain't gonna lie, I'm finna go blow my nose real quick. I'll be right back. I'm finna go blow my nose real quick.
Be right back, chat. 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 Be right back, chat.
Alright, I'm back. That was chapter 43. This chapter 44. This chapter 44. Then he commanded the steward of his house, fill the man's sacks with food as much as they can carry, and put each man's money in the mouth of his sack, and put my cup, the silver cup, in the mouth of the sack of the youngest with his money for the grain. And he did as Joseph told him. As soon as morning was light, the men were sitting away with their donkeys. They still don't know that's Joseph though. I want them to find out that was Joseph the whole time. They had gone only a short distance from the city. Now Joseph said to his steward, "Up, follow after the men, and when you overtake them, say to them, Why have you repaid evil for good?" Wait. Now Joseph said to his steward, "Up, follow after the men, and when you overtake them, say to them, Why have you repaid evil for good? It is not from this that my Lord drinks, and by this he practices divination. You have done evil in doing this." When he overtook them, he spoke to them these words. They said to him, "Why does my Lord speak as such words as these? For be it from your servants to do such a thing. Behold, the money that we found in the mouths of our sacks we brought back to you from the land of Canaan. How then could we steal silver or gold from your Lord's house? Whichever of your servants is found with it shall die, and we also will be my Lord's servants." He said, "Let it be as you see. Let it be as you say. He who is found with it shall be my servant, and the rest of you shall be innocent." Then each man quickly lowered his sack to the ground, and each man opened his sack. And he searched, beginning with the eldest and ending with the youngest. And the cup was found in Benjamin's sack. Then they tore the clothes. Then they tore their clothes, and every man loaded his donkey, and they said, "Return to the city." When Judah and his brothers came to Joseph's house, he was still there. They fell before him to the ground. Joseph said to them, "What deed is this that you have done? Do you not know that a man like me can indeed practice divination?" And Judah said, "What shall we speak to my Lord? What shall we speak? Or how can we clear ourselves? God has found out the guilt of your servants. Behold, we are my Lord's servant, both we and he, also in whose hand the cup has been found." But he said, "Far be it from me that I should do so. Only the man in whose hand the cup was found shall be my servant. But as for you, go up in peace to your father." Then Judah went up to him and said, "O my lord, please let your servant speak a word in my lord's ears. And let not your anger burn against your servant, for you are like Pharaoh himself. My lord asked his servants, saying, Have you a father or a brother? And we said to my lord, We have a father, an old man, and a young brother, the child of his old age. His brother is dead, and he alone is left of his mother's children, and his father loves him." Then you said to your servants, "Bring him down to me, that I may set my eyes on him." We said to my lord, "The boy cannot leave his father, for if he should leave his father would die." Then you said to his servants, unless your youngest brother comes down with me, you shall not see my face again." When we went back to your servant, my father, we told him the words of my lord. And when our father said, "Go again and buy us little food," we said, "We cannot go down. If our youngest brother goes with us, then we will go down. For we cannot see the man's face unless our youngest brother is with us." Then your servant, my father, said to us, "You know that my wife bore me 2 sons. One left me, and I said, surely he has been torn to pieces." That's Joseph. "And I have never seen him since. If you take this one also from me, and harm happens to him, you will bring down my gray hairs in evil of Sheol. Now therefore, as soon as I come to your servant, my father, and the boy is not with us, then as hold on 1 second, I'm gonna bring the mic closer. Y'all can hear me better. Where was I? Now therefore, as soon as I come to your servant, my father, and the boy is not with us, then as his life is bound up in the boy's life. As soon as he sees that the boy is not with us, he will die, and your servant will bring down the gray hairs of your servant, our father, with sorrow to Sheol. For your servant became a pledge of safety for the boy to my father, saying, if I do not bring him back to you, then I shall bear the blame before my father all my life. Now therefore, please let your servant remain instead of the boy as a servant to my Lord, and let the boy go back with his brothers. For how can I go back to my father if the boy is not with me? I fear to see the evil that would happen to my father. So they just told him. So they basically just told Joseph, we can't leave without our youngest brother, because our father Jacob or Israel said if we don't bring him back, then bad things will happen to him. That was chapter 44. This chapter 45. Then Joseph, I wonder if I can lean it a little bit more. Yeah, I can. Then Joseph could not control himself before all those who stood by him. He cried, make everyone go out from me. So no one stayed with him when Joseph made himself known to his brothers. And he wept aloud so that the Egyptians heard it, and the household of Pharaoh heard it. And Joseph said to his brothers, I am Joseph. Is my father still alive? But his brothers could not answer him, for they were dismayed by his presence. So Joseph said to his brothers, come near to me, please. And they came near, and he said, I am your brother, Joseph, whom you sold to Egypt. He is your brother. He is your brother. He is your brother that you sold because you was jealous of him. That's your brother Joseph. And now do not be distressed or angry with yourself because you sold me here. For God sent me before you to preserve life. For the famine has been in the land these 2 years, and there are yet 5 years in which there will be neither plowing nor harvest. And God sent me before you to preserve for you a remnant on earth, and to keep alive for you many survivors. So it was not you who sent me here, but God. Ooh. So he tell them not to feel bad that y'all sold me. Don't feel bad. Don't feel bad at all, because it wasn't y'all that made this happen. It was God, because he knew that I needed to be here to make this happen. He knew that I needed to be here to make this happen. That's why he's so favored by the Lord, bro. He's so merciful and understanding and righteous, bro. He has made me a father to Pharaoh and lord of all his house and ruler over all the land of Egypt. Hurry and go up to my father and say to him, thus says your son Joseph, God has made me the Lord of all Egypt. Come down to me, do not tarry. You shall dwell in the land of Goshen, and you shall be near me, you and your children and your children's children, and your flocks, your herds, and all that you have. So he telling his brothers, go tell my father that I'm alive and that I rule over all of Egypt, and to come down and and dwell in the land of Goshen, so you can be near me. All your children, all your children's children, all your flocks and all your herds, bring them all down. Appreciate that follow. Appreciate that follow, Brownie. There I would provide for you, for there are yet 5 years of famine to come, so that you and your household and all that you have do not come to poverty. And now your eyes see, and the eyes of my brother Benjamin see, that it is my mouth that speaks to you. Bro, what's up, bro? Like, all these, I'm not even gonna pay attention. Right. You must tell my father of all my honor in Egypt, and of all that you have seen. Hurry and bring your father down here. Hurry and bring my father down here. Then he fell upon his brother Benjamin's neck and wept, and Benjamin wept upon his neck. And he kissed all his brothers and wept upon them. After that, his brothers talked with him. When the report was heard in Pharaoh's house, Joseph's brothers have come, it pleased Pharaoh and his servants. And Pharaoh said to Joseph, say to your brothers, do this, load your beasts and go back to the land of Canaan, and take your father and your households and come to me, and I will give you the best of the land of Egypt, and you shall eat the fat of the land. And you, Joseph, are commanded to say, do this, take wagons from the land of Egypt for your little ones and for your wives, and bring your father and come. Have no concern for your goods, have no concern for your goods, for all the best of all the land of Egypt is yours. The sons of Israel did so. And Joseph gave them wagons according to the command of Pharaoh, and gave them provisions for the journey. To each and all of them he gave a change of clothes, but to Benjamin he gave 300 shekels of silver and 5 changes of clothes. To his father he sent as follows: 10 donkeys loaded with the good things of Egypt, and 10 female donkeys loaded with grain, bread, and provisions for his father on the journey. Then he sent his brothers away as they departed, and said to them, do not quarrel on the way. Do not quarrel on the way. Do not discuss this, and do not argue with each other on the way. So they went up out of Egypt and came to the land of Canaan to their father Jacob. And they said to him, Joseph is still alive. He is the ruler over all the land of Egypt. And his heart became numb, for he did not believe them. But when they told him all the words of Joseph, which he had said to them, and when he saw the wagons that Joseph had sent to carry him, the spirit of their father Jacob revived. He revived. And Israel said, it is enough. Jacob, my son, is still alive. I will go and see him before I die. I'm gonna start right there, bro, because man, that's man, chapter 39 to chapter 45 is so like powerful to me, bro. Oh my god. Oh my god. I love it. I ain't gonna lie, I love it. I love that Joseph was able to tell his brothers that he was still alive and that he was the king of all, well, not king of all Egypt, but he was over all the land of Egypt under Pharaoh. I love that. I love that. I love that. Because they were jealous of Joseph, and they the one that sold him. And Joseph told them, don't be sad, or don't be blamed. Don't be blamed, because y'all are not the ones that sent me here. God is the one that sent me here, because he knew that I needed to be here for all this to happen. in the land of Egypt. Now that Joseph had told his brothers that he's still alive, he told his brothers to go back to the land of Canaan, where they from, and tell the father that he's still alive and he is over all the land of Egypt. And when they told him that, Joseph's father, his spirit was revived, and he said, "I will go to Egypt and see Joseph before I die." I thought I gotta go back though, cause I thought Judah was Joseph's. I thought Judah was Joseph's. Well, really, I can leave that right there. I thought Judah was Joseph's father, but whole time it's Jacob. Oh, so Jacob is Joseph's father. He all their fathers. Okay, that's on me. Okay, yeah, that's on me. That's on me. I made that mistake. I gotta go change it on Facebook. I gotta go change that. That's on me. Boy, I ain't gonna lie, boy. Chapters 39, really 37, 38. From chapter 37, 38 to 45 so far. Man, they so powerful to me, bro. I'm so glad that I'm reading this Bible game. I'm so glad that I'm reading this Bible, bro. I'm so glad that I'm reading this Bible. It's so powerful to me, bro. And it explains like righteousness and all type of stuff, bro. I'm so glad I'm reading this Bible, man. I swear. Thank everybody that joined. Thank everybody that followed. Even if y'all bots or not. Appreciate everybody that followed. Appreciate Debo for the gifted, man. I will go back live after I eat. Because I'm hungry right now and I'm finna eat something. So after I eat, I will go back live. And I will see y'all later, man. I will see y'all later. Peace.
All right, man. That's it for tonight. Peace out. All right, man. That's it for tonight. Peace out. All right, man. That's it for tonight. Peace out. All right, man. That's it for tonight. Peace out. All right.